You know how every tank has that one fish that thinks that it's the main character? Well, the Corydoras are the low-key legends doing all the behind-the-scenes work, while others just swim around like they're auditioning for an Aquaman remake. But not all Corys are equal. Some are totally real, and others are more questionable fish tank decisions. Time to sort the real ones from the fishy ones. Let's dive in. Let's talk about the Sterbai Cory. The fish that's out here looking like it just walked off the red carpet. Que fancy. I mean, have you ever seen them? They're got these little speckled patterns and sleek, almost tuxedo-like appearances. They're like the James Bond of Corydoras. But here's the thing. While Sterbai Cory might look like it's ready for the Oscars, it's not just about looking good, it's got needs too. To truly thrive, the Sterbai Cory isn't content being solo diva. No. It needs a full-on squad to show off that personality. This fish is not about being the token cute one in the corner. If you're planning on putting it in a tank by itself or just with a couple of friends, it's going to be like that one friend who doesn't vibe unless the entire squad shows up. You got to commit to a larger group. We're talking about 6 or more. And only then will this Cory let its true personality shine. And trust me, it is worth it when it does. It's active, it's fun to watch, and it'll interact with you if you give it the right social setup. But that setup does require work, which is why this fish slots in A tier. It's a stunner, but not without its fair share of requirements. If you're cool with that commitment though, your tank is about to become the Sterbai Cory's runway. Next up, the Albino Cory, the fish equivalent of that one friend who's super unique but also a bit of a mess. These guys are cute, no doubt. With their pale, almost ghostly appearance and their red eyes, they got a vibe that says, I'm different and I know it. But here's the problem. They can be harder to care for than your average Cory. Let's be real. The Albino Cory is finicky. You'll find a ton of mixed stories about this one. Some hobbyists swear by it, others say it's a total nightmare. They do tend to be a bit more sensitive, especially if they've been wild caught, which, let's be honest, is basically the fish keeping version of getting a mystery box from eBay, and they do better in larger groups. But if you're not on top of water parameters and proper care, you might just find your cute albino fish looking a bit sad and sickly. While they're unique and all, they got more issues than an influencer's apology video, and that's why the Albino Cory lands in C tier. Unique, yes. Easy to handle, not so much. If we're talking perfect Corydoras, the Juli Cory is absolutely the one you want in your tank. Forget the drama, forget the I need a whole squad personality. The Juli Cory just does its thing and it does it well. These guys are active, hardy, and completely unfazed by the nonsense going on in the tank. They're like that one friend who's chill, never causes drama, and somehow just fits in no matter where they go. They are so hardy that even if you mess up the water quality a bit, which who hasn't, let's be honest, the Juli Cory will be swimming around like, it's cool, fam. I got this. Not to mention, they've got that gorgeous speckled pattern. Gorgeous! That makes them look like tiny little superheroes. If superheroes were bottom-dwelling fish who prefer to hang out with their friends rather than start a fight. For being the perfect balance of personality, hardiness, and good vibes, the Juli Cory is definitely S tier. If you're looking for a Cory to end all Corys, this is the one. No drama. Just pure tank greatness. Next, let's talk about the Venezulan Cory. It's like the quiet kid in class who you're pretty sure has a lot going on in their head, but just doesn't speak up enough. These guys have some pretty solid personality, but the looks, not the most exciting compared to some of the others here. It's got that good solid vibe, but it's just not the star of the tank. They've got a really chill demeanor and great hardiness, but let's be honest, okay, back to the looks. I mean, they're just not winning any awards, you know? They're kind of like that one person who you know is reliable and fun to be around, but they just don't have that wow factor that makes them the center of attention. Still, they're a great fish for those who want a Cory that just does its job and doesn't cause any issues. Because of the mix of great personality but meh looks, the Venezulan Cory lands in B tier. Solid, but not the one you're going to show off in the "look at my amazing tank" photos. Now, let's get into the Panda Cory, the one that looks absolutely adorable with that little black and white coloration. It's so cute. You just want to pinch its little cheeks. But, oh boy, it does definitely have some, okay. All right, it's got issues. The Panda Cory is known for being one of the least hardy Corys, especially if it's wild caught. These guys are a challenge for anyone who doesn't want to be glued to water parameters 24/7. They're delicate, and if you don't have the right setup for them, they'll be as fragile as your iPhone screen before a case is put on it. While they're super cute, you gotta commit to perfect care or it's not going to end well. Wild-caught Panda Corys? Yeah, those are definitely not for the casual fish keeper. For being adorable, but a hassle, the Panda Cory makes its way to the D tier. It's a cutie, but it's gonna break your heart if you're not on top of everything. Now these guys are low-key the backbone of any tank. They're not flashy or high maintenance, but they're doing the work. You know that one person who doesn't brag about doing all the work in the group project, but you secretly know they're the reason that it's all pulling together? Yeah, that is the Bronze Cory. These guys are tough. They can survive water in conditions that would send most fish straight to the hospital. They're so hardy, it feels like they've had a year-long subscription to Fish Keeping 101. But here's the thing, they're not here for attention. They got that quiet confidence. Sure, their looks are a bit basic, nothing too extravagant, but who cares? It's their consistency that gets them the job done. Bronze Corys are the unsung heroes of any tank, and they have earned their A-tier spot, because they won't fail you, even if your water quality is just like, okay. They're the fish equivalent of that reliable friend who's always there when you need them. Not trying to steal the spotlight, but, you know, just a solid, stress-free tank inhabitant. Yeah, you need these guys. But if you're into Corys with some extra flair, let's talk about the long-fin Corydoras Paleatus. These guys are basically the I'm too cool for school fish. Extra fins, extra drama, just like my ex-girlfriend. Don't ask. They come with some long, graceful fins that make them look all just elegant. They look great. They're like the fish equivalent of someone wearing a silk scarf just to grab coffee. But here's the thing. All that elegance comes with some baggage, just like my ex-girlfriend. Okay, moving on. They're a little fragile compared to your standard Corys. They're more prone to nips, which is a recipe for chaos if you're in a tank with a fin-happy tank mate. Also, the hardiness of these guys really depends on the breeder, so it's a bit of a gamble. If you're not careful, you might end up with a Cory that's just existing in a, how do I put this? A constant state of stress, because some other fish thought it was cute to nibble at their fins. If you've got a tank full of chill, non-aggressive fish, well then, hey, these guys will probably thrive and look stunning doing it, but don't throw them in a tank with unpredictable fish or you're gonna regret it. I'm giving them C tier, because they're cute, but just like that one friend who shows up to the party wearing a leather jacket and somehow ends up starting drama over a meme, they could be a good fit, but you better be prepared. Just like my ex-girlfriend. Okay, let's talk about the Rio Nanay Cory. These guys are like the Instagram fish. You know the ones, they look amazing in pictures with their sleek, almost too perfect patterns and vibrant colors. It's the, I want to look like I'm keeping an aquarium in the Louvre aesthetic. You'll look at him and think, this is a fish worth flexing on my stories. But here's the catch. Imported fish, especially ones like the Rio Nanay Cory, are basically mystery boxes of the fish world. You're gonna have no idea what's inside until you open it. Will they thrive? Who knows? Are they prone to health issues? Probably. Are they gonna be a hassle? Oh yeah. The health of these little guys can vary wildly, which is, you know, so fun when you're just trying to keep a peaceful tank and not make your water quality your full-time job. But I digress. They got the looks, but if you're not prepared for potential health drama and the is it okay today vibe that comes with imported fish, you might end up regretting this decision. Because they're gorgeous but temperamental, they are landing right down in the C tier. Instagram worthy, oh yes, but easy to care for, definitely not. Next up, let's talk about the Habrosus Cory. The smallest, cutest little fish you ever did see, but also the one that needs to be handled with care because it's a fragile little one-of-a-kind porcelain doll. These little guys are super cute, and they do well in nano tanks, but they also come with a level of fragility that's a little concerning. Most of the time, they're wild caught, and we all know how that story goes. Wild caught fish can be a little delicate. These guys need perfect water conditions, and even if you think about not staying on top of their water changes or parameters, they'll immediately let you know how unhappy they are. One minute they're adorable and chill, the next they're turning belly up on you. If you're an experienced fish keeper who's good at monitoring conditions and managing a nano setup, these little guys will thrive. But for the casual keeper, they're a lot of work for such small fish. They're landing down in the D tier, because while they are cute, they're just too delicate for most people's tanks. And trust me, you're not gonna want to hear the drama if they start getting stressed. But let's move on to the Leopard Cory, the reliable, hardworking fish that everyone wishes they could be. These guys are tank-raised, well-behaved, and probably the easiest Cory to care for. No crazy demands, no health crisis, just good vibes and steady work. They're basically equivalent of that one friend who can show up to a party looking like $1,000,000 and still clean the entire kitchen without anyone asking. They're hardy, they're well-behaved, and honestly, they'll get along with just about anything in your tank. active, interactive, and the real backbone of a peaceful tank setup. Plus, they won't turn your water parameters into a full-time job. Yay! You can relax knowing your peppered Cory's probably thriving, doing its job, and looking adorable while it's at it. For being the ultimate stress-free Cory with the best personality, the peppered Cory is in S tier. It's the Cory you show off to your friends, the one you rely on, and the one who makes everything look easy. If you're new to fish keeping and you want something low maintenance, this right here, this is your Cory. Honestly, it's the fish version of do no wrong. Alright, beam in on to the gold laser Cory, the fish that looks way fancier than it has any business looking. We're talking about a Cory with the kind of metallic shine that would make even the most hardcore bling-loving fish super jelly. You know, the fish that looks so good you almost just want to look at him and say, I'm keeping you in my tank purely because you're that shiny. Yeah, that is the gold laser Cory for you. Here's the thing though, looks aren't everything in the fish world. I know, shocker. These guys are bred in the hobby, which means their hardiness is totally dependent on the breeder. If you get a good one from a solid breeder, you'll have a shiny, well-behaved fish that's ready to add a bit of sparkle to your tank. If you're rolling the dice on a not-so-great breeder, you might end up with a fish that's more fragile than your last attempt at DIY TikTok crafts. For the shiny factor and slight risk of being more delicate than expected, the gold laser Cory beams into the B tier. It's beautiful and fun, but don't expect it to blend into the background and be low-key. But next up, the Bandit Cory. This fish is the ultimate, I'm a little edgy, but not too much type. With a distinctive black and white skunk pattern, the Bandit Cory looks like it just came out of a Fashion Week show. You know, if Fashion Week was underwater and involved some hardcore catfish looks. The great thing about Bandit Corys is that they're bred, so they tend to be a bit more hardy than the wild-caught species. These guys are generally easy to care for, which makes them a pretty solid choice for people who want a Cory without worrying about the major health issues. Plus, their unique skunk pattern makes sure that they're gonna catch some attention in your tank, and they won't demand all the spotlight. Cause these guys are chill, and you know, they know that sometimes being the cool fish is better than being the loud one. They're solid, low drama, and they won't start fights with your other fish. And because of that, the Bandit Cory gets, fittingly, B tier. It's a solid pick if you want a hardy fish with a bit of style and no attitude. But let's move on to the Leopard Cory. This fish is definitely a head turner. With its striking leopard-like patterns, it's the kind of fish you want in your tank for aesthetic value. I mean, seriously, the looks are fire, it looks so good, but here's the reality check along with that. This fish is wild caught, and we all know that that means fragility and consistency and potential issues. Wild-caught fish, as pretty as they are, often come with a side of stress. You're gambling with their health, and the risk of them not thriving in your tank is much higher than it would be for a tank-raised Cory. Not to mention the Leopard Cory doesn't have the same consistent personality or hardiness as other, more domesticated species. And let's be real, people. If you're spending more time trying to nurse your Leopard Cory back to health than you are actually enjoying it, what is the point? If you're just in it for aesthetic, go ahead and flex that Leopard Cory. But if you're looking for a low-maintenance fish that can actually handle your tank conditions, well, you're probably better off going with a Sterbai or a Juli Cory. The Leopard Cory gets C tier. Stunning, yes, but a bit too much of a project for most hobbyists. Ah, the Vulcan Cory. This one is for the flexers out there. Not muscles, like clout. It's rare, it's expensive, and it's basically the fish version of a limited edition sneaker drop. If you've seen a Vulcan Cory in person, you know it's got that I spent $500 on this fish and I want everybody to know energy. Seriously, these guys can go for around $500 a pop, and that's the kind of flex that would make even the most hardcore fish keeper's wallet cry. Tears. Yes. But here's the T. You're not buying this fish for personality or practicality, you're buying it because you want to be the person who can casually drop, oh yeah, my Vulcan Cory's doing great in conversation. Yeah, nobody asked. It's hard to find, and let's face it, if you got a $500 Cory, you're probably more worried about keeping it alive than making sure it's actually thriving in your tank. Is it a cool fish? Sure. Should it be on your list of practical, reliable Corys? Not really. The Vulcan Cory is a C tier fish, not because it's bad, but because it's more about the flex than the function. And if you're in it just for the flex, well, the price tag should tell you everything that you need to know. Next, we have the Hog Nose Catfish, aka Habrosus multiradiatus. This little fella is basically the big brother of the Corydoras world. This ain't your average small bottom dweller, no sir. These guys get large, making them a solid choice for larger tanks where you need a bigger, chill fish to balance things out. The Hog Nose Catfish has a relaxed personality and it won't stir up drama in your tank, which, is perfect for people who want a low-key fish with a bit more presence. They're hardy, they handle bigger tanks well, and they're a great addition if you need a Cory that can hold its own and won't get lost in the crowd. So, because of their size and chill nature, I'm putting the Hog Nose Catfish, B tier. Not a standout, but definitely a solid pick for bigger setups that need a little more muscle without the aggression. But what are you waiting for? Drop a comment and let me know which of these Corys is stealing your heart or causing you stress. And don't forget to hit the like button if you learned something new or just enjoyed the chaos. Oh, and if you're not subscribed, what are you even doing? Keep the notification bell on so you don't miss more fishy drama next time. Until then, keep your water clean and your Corys chill. Catch you in the next one, tank fam. I don't know why I said that.